Unfortunately, we've had to dispatch some of our little marmot friends. These are little critters that we have been enjoying for a few years now. We look forward to them coming out of their dens every spring, and we count to see how many there are. And we really do look forward to them. And we enjoy watching nature and all of the wildlife that we are blessed with here in Western Montana. Unfortunately, what we discovered just recently is that the colony has grown, and actually, a marmot can have 3 to 6 to 8 in a litter. So I'm not sure how many we have running around here right now, but anyway, the colony has grown and they moved to another location on our property. And what we discovered was that they were going up under the vehicles, gnawing on the tubing, chewing and eating the insulation up under the hood. And we just knew that something had to be done because we can't risk thousands of dollars of vehicle damage. So we made the decision that we were going to have to take care of them and they were going to have to be dispatched. So I went to the Montana website, or to a Montana website, and this was the University of Montana that told us the best way to take care of this problem. And it was either through trapping and relocating 10 miles away, which we have trapped at least one of them. I wish we could trap and relocate all of them. Or what they say is the best method for controlling these rodents. To me, they're cute little animals. But the best way of controlling these animals is through dispatching them. And it's been troubling for us because nobody really wants to do this. Nobody really wants to take care of that job. But there are things that people do all the time. There are things, difficult things that people do all of the time because that's just the cycle of life. It's made me think of an article that I wrote called Eating Jake. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. It's Eating Jake, and it goes back to when we were living in the Flathead and we had our two daughters with us and they were growing up and we were looking to be more self-sufficient and learn some of these skills, some of these self-sufficient survival skills, because we've always thought it was good to have people understand where things come from, how you can survive on, what foods are available, and how to learn how to do those different things so you can be a little bit more self-sufficient. I don't want to get demonetized on this channel, so you might hear that some of the words that I have swapped out might sound a little strange, a little weird. So keep that in mind if you hear something where you realize that one word would be more suitable for what I'm saying. So I'm just trying to, stay within the YouTube guidelines. So anyway, the story goes like this. Jake lost his life on Mother's Day. It came as a surprise, even though I had been mentally prepared for it for some time. I didn't know when or where it would happen, but I did know how. It would be at the hands of my husband, who had been hunting for a tom all season. When David grabbed his weapon, I had mixed feelings. I was glad about the self-sufficiency aspect, but also felt like an accomplice to his dispatch because I was the one who told my husband that a tom was out in the yard. As my husband was about to remove Jake, my eye saw a wild turkey going about its business and that his young life was about to be snuffed out. But who knows? Perhaps Jake wanted to leave the earth plane early and was a party to his own demise. Only a week earlier, I had experienced the pleasure of watching 3 male turkeys take flight at the sound of a blast. It was a magnificent sight as they soared from peril. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'd rather shoot wildlife with my camera than with a weapon. But then again, I like to eat meat, and somebody, somewhere, has been doing the dirty work so that I can go to the supermarket and buy meat to put on the table. Taking an animal and butchering it yourself really drives home the point of where your food comes from. I suppose if I had to take an animal for sustenance, I would. After Jake died, I did like the American Indians do. At least that's what I've heard they do, and silently gave thanks over his dead body for the nourishment that he would provide. David picked up Jake and took him to the back of our place and lay him on the grass near the land of doghouses. While his carcass was warm, we prepared his limp body by plucking his feathers and removing his skin. You have to remember that this was our first experience cleaning wild game, so we were a little weird about it. After removing all of the feathers on the breast and thighs, I took a sharp fillet knife and carefully sliced into his breast as close as I could to the bone. I accidentally pierced the crop, but no worries. Nothing spilled over onto the good meat. I cut away Jake's breast, thighs, and wings. I know this sounds silly, but I couldn't get over how his meat looked just like the store-bought kind. It was different, however, in the smell department. It smelled very fresh, with barely an odor at all. After cleaning Jake outside, I got a container and brought him inside to the kitchen sink. There, I thoroughly washed him in cold water and removed any residual feathers. I wrapped most of the meat in freezer paper while saving a nice piece of breast meat for our next meal. I knew that serving Jake for dinner was going to be no easy task. I wasn't sure if my daughters would eat him at all or how my husband would feel about eating something wild that he had killed on the front lawn. We just didn't know what to expect. Would he taste gamey? One thing we did know, we would eat Jake because it would be a sin and a shame not to. Not to mention not eating what you kill would be unethical and go against all hunting protocols. For some strange reason, I thought I would have to use a wild turkey recipe to prepare Jake and took to the internet to find one. A recipe called Cajun Mardi Gras wild turkey breast, courtesy of the NWTF, caught my fancy and appealed to my New Orleans roots. It had lots of spice and the turkey was cooked along with bacon, so I figured it would be a winner. I cut Jake into cubes and added him to the other ingredients in the pan. As I stirred, the aroma of bacon and sauteed onion filled the kitchen. It smelled good as I tasted a piece of Jake. I was pleasantly surprised at how normal he tasted. No wild or gamey taste. I served Jake over a bed of rice. My girls refused to eat him, and my husband politely took a serving. I think knowing that he had been warm and full of bugs somehow turned everyone's stomach. On the other hand, I personally thought the meal was delicious. My first dinner of wild turkey proved to be a success. Of course, we had plenty of leftovers. I couldn't eat him all by myself. The next day, my girls took a taste or two. They said Jake was bouncy, another way of saying that he was chewy. At that time, I thought perhaps I had overcooked Jake, but after subsequent dishes of baked turkey breast and another of turkey andouille gumbo, I came to the same conclusion. His meat was tough, not inedible. So far, Jake has provided us with 3 meals, and I still have a thigh in the freezer for future use. I'm thankful for that and also for what I've learned. It's a good thing getting back to basics and knowing that you have achieved a few of the most rudimentary skills of survival: killing, cleaning, and preparing wild game. So I wrote that article a number of years ago, and it's one of the stories of our life that gives you some background into our life after we moved to Montana. We used to live in the suburbs, and when we came to Montana, I really wanted to have my 2 girls experience nature, get back to nature, and understand the fundamentals of life and getting back to basics, as I said in the article. So if you'd like to read the article, I will leave a link in the description. And please leave your comments below. And if you have any questions about this article or would like to let me know if you are a hunter and have hunted wild game, I would love to hear about it. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please give me a like, share this content, and subscribe for more outside the box retirement content. Thanks again. I'm Marlene with Rebel Retirement, and I'll see you next time. Hey, you guys, please take a look around my channel. I have hundreds of videos on topics including Social Security, Medicare, how to get out of debt, pros and cons of moving, relationship issues, health topics, and more. And all of these videos are based on my experience and what I have learned in retirement. And I know that many people are worried about money in retirement, and this is exactly why Rebel Retiree and I created our just-in-time retirement series. And it's absolutely free, you guys, so it doesn't hurt to take a look at it. It's a mindset-based retirement planning strategy that eliminates waste and aligns your finances with your goals and values. With continuous improvement, you free up your resources to create an abundant retirement lifestyle. So I recommend viewing the playlist on this channel. And to get the full picture, visit our website, rebelretirement.com. And if you are nearing retirement and worried about your financial future, you're going to get a whole different viewpoint. See for yourself at rebelretirement.com.